Hi friends, sairam app. இது ஒரு green social media. இது Facebook மாதிரி ஒரு social media platform. இதுல pictures, videos and voice chat roomலாம் இருக்கு. இதுல account open பண்ணி verify வாங்குற ஒவ்வொரு users பேர்லயும் ஒரு மரக்கன்று நடப்படும். இத sign up பண்ணி account open பண்ணும்போது verification email வரும். அத verification பண்ணா மட்டும் தான் account open ஆகும். நீங்க என்ன user name கொடுக்குறீங்களோ அதை கொடுத்து தான் login பண்ணணும். email address போடக்கூடாது. account open பண்ணி cover photo, profile picture எல்லாம் வச்சு ரெகுலரா ஆக்டிவேட்டா இருந்தா மட்டும் தான் அது verified accountல எடுத்துக்கொள்ளப்படும். அதர் ஆப்ஸ்ல அப்லோட் பண்ணாத வாட்டர்மார்க் இல்லாத ஓன் கண்டென்ட் வீடியோ போட்டு வெரிஃபை வாங்குற யூசர்ஸ்க்கு கிஃப்ட் உண்டு. அது என்ன கிஃப்ட் அப்படிங்கறத அந்த ஆப்ல மெசேஜ் வரும். sairam app லிங்க் டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன்ல இருக்கு, டவுன்லோட் பண்ணிக்கங்க. sairam app iOS and Google Play Storeல இருக்கு, டவுன்லோட் பண்ணிக்கங்க.
Raja Yogam practitioners must raise and lower their breathing for a long time according to the instructions of the Guru. By practicing it regularly for a long time, your breathing will calm down. If your breathing calms down, then your mind also will calm down. The practitioners should not engage in any other outside activity. If you're not engaged in any activity, then you cannot earn money and you will lose your name and fame. By maintaining all activities, mind will not calm down as long as you engage in outside activities. Ancient Siddhas and saints advised us, just be yourself to be in bliss. How can we simply exist as just be ourselves? The most difficult thing in this world is to be simply just being ourselves. Even very old people sitting under ramparts of their house cannot keep quiet and just be themselves. Human beings normally will be doing something and thinking about something. As long as you're thinking, your mind will be there. You must stop your thinking. To stop your thinking, all your activities must stop. You continue all your activities and complain that your mind does not stop. Then how can it be? Lot of people are complaining that they have got into an illusion. You only selected your spouse, started leading a family life, and now you are complaining that you have got into the illusion. After doing all these activities, you complain that the mind is not under control. How can it be? If your mind calms down, then your senses will calm down and come under control. If your senses come under your control, then your mind will calm down. Our ancient Siddhar Idaikadar reiterates the same in his composition as Iruvinaya Madugalai Egavidukone. Let go the twin bulls, the effects of your good and bad deeds to run. Un adangamana maadondrai adakki vidukone. Bring your mind, the bull, under control. Siddhar is advising to run our two bulls of breathing in and breathing out regularly. Your mind will calm down if your breathing calms down then. We are unable to control the flow of our breath for half an hour because as soon as we sit down and start breathing, we start thinking about the many activities pending and immediately we get up to go for completing those activities. How will your mind come under control? It will not come under control by itself. If you can control it by yourself, then you need not come to our ashramam to learn Raja Yogam instructions. It is impossible to control your mind. It is not that easy. Not only in this birth is our mind wandering, in all of our previous births also. Then how will it come under control suddenly? If your mind goes, then you will become a dead body. How could your activities be carried out in this world? Hence, you should bring it under control by allowing it to go on its way and building a relationship with it and slowly bring it under control. That is why I said, the Siddhas informed us that the boiled seeds won't grow. They are advising us to boil our mind in the fire of Raja Yogam. If you keep a seed for a year and drop it in the earth, it will start germinating. But if you boil the seed, it will never grow. Similarly, if you don't want any more birth, then you must boil your mind in your body, then it will not take another birth. Who is ready to boil their mind? Most of you are here just to listen to the instructions and simply forget it once outside the ashramam and start all your activities as usual. Where is the chance for your mind to come under control? We have to control and calm down our mind. Outsiders cannot control and bring our mind to calmness. You should go along with the mind and bring it under control yourself. One may need many more births to do this activity and bring it to a successful completion. None of the jnanis condition their mind and attain jnanam in one birth. They have attained this state after many births. In each birth, they accomplish some portion and continue it in the next birth. Our condition is also like this. Disciple, how do we derive pleasure and bliss through our senses? Guru, senses themselves don't enjoy anything. Only our mind derives pleasure through our senses. Without mind, there is no pleasure. Suppose if your hand is damaged, the hand will not tell you about it. Only our mouth speaks about it. How does the mouth know the pain in the hands? The pain goes to the brain through our nervous system and then the brain commands the mouth to speak about the feeling of pain in the hand. Our mind is there where the pain is. Mind is part of the brain. If the brain does not feel anything, then the body will not function. The brain must have feeling for the whole body to have a feeling. Mind is located in the brain. Mind informs everything to the brain. Only the mind derives pleasure through the senses. But the senses themselves don't enjoy anything. Pleasure is only for the mind and body. Atma does not enjoy anything. Only a body below the head is searching for pleasures. During the male-female copulation, the pleasures are not revealed in the face. It is inside the body and below the neck. Only the body and mind look for enjoyment. The senses in the face don't know the pleasure because the brain directs the pleasure only to the body below the neck and the mind. Disciple. Our 5 senses have form and not the mind. How is it getting energy? Guru. 5 senses have form. Eyes, nose, ears, mouth and body have shape and form. Mind derives its energy from these 5 senses only. These 5 senses are always enjoined with the body, whereas the mind is spread across the whole body. For humans, their body is their home. Mind functions through the body by the signals received from the eyes and the ears. Mind is part of the Andhakaranam. Andhakaranam is composed of mind, siddham, buddhi and ahankaram. Mind derives its strength from knowledge. One who has mind is called human. If mind leaves, then it is called a dead body. Hence human is mind itself. Disciple. How body, life and Atma form completeness according to Siddhar Agathiyar. Guru. Ancient Siddhar Agathiyar, the great saint, stated that body, life and Atma forms completeness, called in Tamil as Puranam. The life, body and Atma combine to form the completeness. These 3 must combine to form any activity. Life is not there if the body is not there. Life is no Atma if there is no life. The body will not function if there is no Atma. All these 3 must join to form the completeness. Chapter number 4. Guru, Disciple, Jnanam and Vindu. Disciple. Is Guru essential to attain God realization? Guru. Definitely a Guru is essential to attain God realization. One cannot attain Jnanam without the guidance of a God-realized Guru. There is a vast difference between Jnanam, which is wisdom, and Ajnanam, which is ignorance. Ajnanam is leading one's life based on the life of someone. Jnanam is invisible. A Guru is required to make it visible. The disciple will attain Jnanam only if they follow the path instructed by Guru. Otherwise, it is impossible. Siddhar Karuvurar helped his world-famous disciple Emperor Rajaraja Cholan in building the big temple Tanjavur, Tamil Nadu. You may have doubts because there are few jnanis who had reached that state without a Guru. For example, Ramana Maharishi had attained Jnanam at the age of 13 and there was no Guru for him. Similarly, Arul Prakasha Ramalinga Vallalar had attained Jnanam at the age of 12 without a Guru. The Saivite saint Trinyana Sambandir had attained Jnanam at the age of 8 without the guidance of a human Guru. The famous Jnanis had attained Jnanam at an early age because in their previous birth, they had died at the verge of attaining Jnanam. In their current birth, they had continued to attain it without a Guru because of the continuity from previous birth. However, for normal human beings who embark on the path of Jnanam in this life, must start their spiritual journey with the proper guidance of a God-realized Guru to attain the objective. The process of attaining Jnanam is strewn with a lot of diversions and without proper instructions from a God-realized Guru, it is easy to go the wrong way and end up with many more rebirths. Only by traveling in the path of the well-trodden path of a God-realized Guru, we can attain Jnanam. Disciple. What are the characteristics of a good disciple? Guru. Swami Vivekananda is an example of a good disciple. Ramakrishna Paramahamsar became world famous after his disciple Swami Vivekananda travelled to USA and other Western countries to spread the message of his Guru. Only the disciple must endeavour to bring the Guru to the limelight. If a Guru tries to popularize on their own, then it is not proper for the character of a good Guru. Only the disciples must spread the glories of their Guru. The glories of Ramana Maharishi were spread in the Western world by his disciple Paul Brunton through his best-selling books A Search in Secret India, 1934, and The Secret Path. Paul Brunton is the pen name of Raphael Hirst, 21st October 1898 to 27 July 1981, a British author of spiritual books. He is best known for his best-selling A Search in Secret India, 1934, which has been translated into over 20 languages. One day, sitting with Ramana Maharishi, Brunton had an experience which Steve Taylor names an experience of genuine enlightenment which changed him forever. Brunton describes it in the following way. I find myself outside the rim of world consciousness. The planet which has so far harbored me disappears. I am in the midst of an ocean of blazing light. The latter, I feel, rather than think, is the primeval stuff out of which worlds are created. The first state of matter. It stretches away into untellable infinite space, incredibly alive. Arul Prakasha Ramalinga Vallalar had a disciple named Kalpat. He also became world famous. The glories of a Guru come into limelight only through the efforts of their good disciples. However, it is difficult for every guru to have such a good disciple. Tirarangundram was a small village near Tirukovilur. In that village, Kalpattu Ayya was leading an ascetic life in a small hut, which was over a hill. In his meditation, he once got a vision that his master will come in person to take over him. The omniscient Lord Vallalar went there and calmly said, Kalpattu Ayya, for fulfilling your penance, I came here as told by God. Open your eyes. The words resounded as magic spell in the ears of Kalpattu Ayya. He suddenly felt an unknown ecstasy and opened his eyes. There stood Vallalar, a form filled with compassion and grace. Thus the master took over his disciple. The emperor of 8-part Attanga Yogam Siddhar Tirumular in his magnum opus Tirumandiram detailed about the characteristics of a good disciple in the following stanza. Sargunam Vaimaidaya Vivegam Tanmai must possess the character of Satvigam, truthfulness, merciful prudence, attitude of coolness. Sarguru Padame Sayai Pol Ningame must stay close to the God-realized Guru like his shade. Sirparanyanam Teliya Telivordal, knowledge of the divine with clarity and adhere to the understanding. Arpudame Tontralagum Sarsidani is the right disciple and will witness the wonder. Disciple. How to identify a good Guru? Guru. Good Guru will not wear costumes and jewels, will not lead a life of luxury and comfort and flamboyance. Good Guru will lead a simple and peaceful life, simple in appearances and will wear very simple dresses. Examples of good Gurus are all of our ancient Siddhas, saints, Jnanis and sages. In recent years, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and his disciple Swami Vivekananda, Ramana Maharishi and Arul Prakasha Ramalinga Vallalar are good examples. These Jnanis lived a very simple and peaceful life. Disciple. How should be the relationship between the Guru and the disciple? Guru. The relationship between Guru and the disciple was different in ancient times. Now it has changed. In the current materialistic world, it is very difficult to follow the advice of the Guru by overcoming the influence of the outside world. However, I have followed the directions of my Guru. I have worshipped him as my God. In olden days, Guru lived a lonely life. Always there is a connection between the Guru and the disciples. The disciple will come to know of this when he is embarking on the wrong path or there is an impending danger for him. Guru will warn the disciple. Disciple must heed the warning of the Guru and move away from the wrong path. The disciple will go through the dangerous consequences if he is not following the advice of his Guru. This is the connection between the Guru and the disciple. Ancient Siddhar Tirumular in his magnum opus Tirumandiram detailed about maintaining the relationship with a God-realized Guru, the benefits derived by the disciple wanting to stay away from a false Guru, and monitoring the progress of his disciples by the Guru in the following stanzas. About maintaining the relationship with a God-realized Guru. Kollinum nalla Guruvinai kolluga. Find and accept a God-realized Guru. Ullapurul udalaaviyudan eega. Donate all your wealth, body and mind to him. Yellattanayum idaividade nindru. Stay close to him without a gap. Thelli ariya chivapadam dane. Definitely you will attain the feet of the Lord Shivam, the effulgent divine light. Umapati Shivam, an orthodox Brahmin priest of Chidambaram temple, was riding a palanquin behind a lighted torch in the daytime. On seeing this lower caste Guru, Marainyana Sambandar shouted the famous words, Daytime blind is riding on the dead wood. Patta kattayil pagal kurudu yegudal parir. On hearing these words, something happened inside of Umapati Shivam and he jumped out of the palanquin and came running towards the Guru. Marainyana Sambandar offered his prayers. Immediately the Guru started running and Umapati Shivam followed him. Guru Marainyana Sambandar, on seeing a weaver preparing the yarn using pots of porridge, requested the weaver to offer it to him to quench his thirst, and the weaver obliged. Umapati Shivam started to drink the leftover of this lower caste Guru Marainyana Sambandar. By this act, Guru Marainyana Sambandar accepted Umapati Shivam and initiated him as his disciple, leading to excommunication by the orthodox temple priests. Umapati Shivam had established his own monastery. The woodcutter Petran Samban was providing wood to the monastery and was always in deep thought about getting lessons from the master like other disciples. One day the Lord himself gave him a letter to be presented to Umapati Shivam for initiation. Petran Samban presented the letter to Guru Umapati Shivam. The Guru was surprised to see the letter from the Lord and initiated Petran Samban, who attained the effulgent divine light form immediately. However, the kith and kin of Petran Samban complained to the king about the disappearance of Petran Samban. The king came to the monastery and was informed about the initiation and Petran Samban attaining the effulgent divine light form. The king ordered him to prove it. Guru Umapati Shivam searched for a suitable disciple and found a thorn bush on which the leftover water of his prayer is poured on daily. He had initiated the thorn bush which attained the effulgent divine light form before the assembled gathering. About the benefits derived by the disciple from a God-realized Guru. Thaviravaitan vinaitan adiyar kol. Guru helps in getting rid of the effect of the deeds and the planets. Thaviravaitan sirathoda tan padam. Guru helps conducting the activities. Thaviravaitan namanthoodavar kootam. Guru helps in getting rid of the messengers of death. Thaviravaitan piravithuyarthane. Guru helps in crossing the birth and death cycle. Tirumular also warned us to stay away from the false Guru. Kuruttinai neekum guruvinai kollar. Unable to find the Guru who can dispel the blindness. Kuruttinai neeka guruvinai kolvar. Becoming a disciple of a Guru who cannot dispel the blindness. Kurudum kurudum kuruttu aatamadi. The blind and the blind danced a blind dance. Kurudum kurudum kuruvirumare. The blind and the blind both fell into the pit of birth and death cycle. Additionally, Tirumula stated in the following lines that a God-realized Guru is capable of monitoring the progress of his disciples just by thinking about the disciple. Manmanam yengundu vayuvum angundu. Where the human mind dwells, there dwells the breath. Manmanam yengillayo vayu angillai. Where not the human mind dwells, there not the breath, which life dwells. Finally, Siddhar Tirumular advises the disciples that visiting the Guru, reciting his holy name, listening to his words and meditating on his holy figure will lead him to realize God. Thelivu, Guruvin Tirumeni Kandal, achieved clarity on saying the holy figure of Guru. Thelivu, Guruvin Tirunamam Seppal, achieved clarity on saying the holy name of Guru. Thelivu, Guruvin Tiruvarthai Kettal, achieved clarity on hearing the holy words of Guru. Thelivu, Guru Uru Sindithal Dane, achieved clarity on thinking about the holy figure of Guru. Disciple, what is surrendering at Guru's feet and at Lord's feet? Guru. Guruvadi Saranam, Tiruvadi Saranam. Surrendering at Guru's feet and surrendering at Lord's feet is the literal meaning for this. Guru represents the Trinity. Your mind is your Guru. You may get many instructions from your Guru. However, out of these instructions, you will follow only those that are desired by your mind. Even if you listen to all the instructions and teachings of your Guru, if your mind does not find it acceptable, then all these instructions will be of waste. From birth to death, only their mind is the Guru for all human beings. Human beings will follow only what their mind dictates or desires and will reject all the advices from Guru, parents, relatives and friends. All human activities are in line with the propensities of the mind. Disciple. What is discipline? Guru. The person leading a life along the spiritual path has to learn essential habits for living a peaceful life and engage themselves to earn their livelihood according to the principles laid down by the Guru at the ashramam. This is called discipline. After getting the advice from Guru, if one wanders here and there without leading a peaceful life and not following the advice of the Guru is not good for them and society. It is called indiscipline. Persons not following the spiritual path can lead their life any way they want. Once you decide to live along the path of spirituality, one must follow the discipline and should not wander around and search for unnecessary things. Those who imitate the spiritual seekers can do all these. This is also indiscipline. Doing good things to few people is not discipline. One must correct themselves and discipline themselves. If one discusses their positive and negative aspects with others, then they will come and correct it. One will lose their discipline if they discuss these things with others. One must analyze themselves and correct themselves. It is a good practice equivalent to living with God. A person performing benevolent activities to the world will be liked and followed by many after they leave this world. Malarmisai ஏகினான் மானடி சேர்ந்தார் நிலமிசை நீடு வாழ்வார். One should lead a life by performing good deeds in this world, so that even after leaving this world, their fame will remain in this world for a very long time. Billionaire turned Siddhar Pattinattar lived in Tamil Nadu 1000 years ago. Arul Prakasha Ramalinga Vallalar lived 200 years ago. And Ramana Maharishi lived 100 years ago. Today, we're all still talking about these wise men that lived long ago. During their period, there were many kings and rich people lived. But we're not talking about any of them. We're not discussing about them because they lived for themselves, whereas these jnanis lived for the world. The world will identify those who live for the world. Even their family members will not remember them after a few years, those who lived for their family. One may give birth to a child and one must do their duty to bring up the child. If parents start thinking that their child is the best in the world and nobody is like that, then the parents will get mired in the mud of affection. Parents must not be like this. They must do their duty without expecting anything in return. Otherwise, they will not be able to embark on the path of spirituality. Whatever the good one does to the world will be always remembered, and the deed done for the welfare of the family will be forgotten soon. We have discussed so many siddhas and saints. All these wise men lived simply with loincloth. Luxuries or a comfortable life was anathema to them. Those who lived in luxury and comfort remained within the confines of their homes and could not get the attention of the world. There was a Siddhar named Kunangudi Mastan, born in Tondi Managaram near Ramanathapuram, Tamil Nadu. He was leading a spiritual life. His parents wanted him to get married. He didn't want to get married, so he made his brother to marry the girl chosen for him. After this, he had left for Chennai. On the way, he visited Tanjavur. In the big Shiva temple, lot of god men were living there, wearing saffron clothes. He also stayed with them, thinking that they were engaged in spiritual pursuit and were wise men. The king, on his routine visit to the temple, inquired about the visitor. Those godmen informed the king that the visitor looks like a thief. We can find out about him if you arrange a dinner and a dance party for us in the palace. The king invited everyone, including the visitor, that evening to the party at the palace. Everybody, including Kunangudi Mastan, had gone to partake dinner and enjoy the dance party. During the dance, all these godmen were chatting and reveling in the environment. However, Kunangudi Mastan was staring at something. One of those godmen became curious and wanted to find out why the visitor is staring at the dancer. So he went behind Kunangudi Mastan and kept his face on the visitor's shoulder to look at the direction where the visitor is staring at. The godman was astonished to see Kunangudi Mastan staring at his own figure floating in the dance hall. The godman rushed to the king and informed him that we made a mistake. The visitor is a great yogi and a siddhar. After the dance program, the king felicitated Kunangudi Mastan and requested him to continue his stay in the palace. The following was the conversation between Kunangudi Mastan and the king. Is this place yours? The king replied, Yes, it is my palace. Kunangudi Mastan further asked, Who lived here before you? The king replied that his parents lived there. And before that, grandparents lived there. Kunangudi Mastan finally said, Then it is not yours. You cannot give me anything which is not yours. Please provide these to the group of godmen who were intent on pleasing you, which is sufficient for you. I cannot accept your invitation. Kunangudi Mastan then challenged those godmen and composed the following famous humorous lines. மீசையுள்ள ஆண் பிள்ளை சிங்கங்கள் எவரேனும் இருந்தால் வெளியில் என் கூட வாருங்கள். O men of lions with full of mustache, if any, please come out. நாசி நிரம்பவும் இரண்டு மயிர்தான், கால் நடுவிலும் ஒரு கூடை மயிர்தான். You're endowed with a few hair in the nose and a basket full of hair in between thighs. ரோசம் கெடுவாரெல்லாம் என் கடை மயிர்தான். Oh, people without shame, you're all equal to my hair only. People who are wearing saffron clothes and cheating people in the name of God will suffer in the end without even a loincloth to hide their shame. Kunangudi Mastan informed the king to keep this kind of godmen with him, and they are the right fit for you, and left for Chennai. He finally attained his liberation in Tandayarpet, which is named after his birthplace in North Chennai Beach. Disciple. What is the purpose of offering camphor light to the disciple? Guru. All the temples offer camphor light to the god within the sanctum sanctorum at the end of prayer session. Similarly, same practice is followed in most of the homes and festival celebrations at the end of the prayer rituals. It is carried out in important family functions like marriage to ward off the effect of evil spirits and jealous eyes. In ashrams, it is offered to the guru because guru is considered very important. Some gurus also think of themselves as the epitome of holiness and make arrangements for the camphor light ceremony for them. It is created to instill in the minds of their disciples that all the rituals must be centered on the guru. However, in our ashramam, I am thinking differently and offer it to my disciples for the following reason. Whatever is inside myself, it's the same with everyone. I am also you, you are also I. Only you and I exist in this entire world. That is why we are worshipping that which is in both of us. I offer camphor light to disciples without any differentiation. Atma does not know who is guru and who is disciple. Differentiations exist only for the bodies. Atma doesn't have any relationships. This is the reason for offering camphor light to all the disciples. Disciple. What is the meaning of inquiry or visaram? Guru. Only our mind is capable of conducting inquiry. If there is no mind, there is no inquiry. People engaged in research used to think about something as long as there is mind. If there is no mind, then there is no talk of inquiry. Only the mind decides what to inquire. A spiritual person will inquire about how to attain God. Similarly, people employed in business will inquire about their business opportunities. However, this inquiry must be for you and not for the world. The spiritual inquiry is inquiring about methods of attaining God. If there is no mind, then there is no I. If there is no mind, then there is nothing called inquiry. If there is no mind, then there is no activity. This entire inquiry will happen as long as the mind exists. If one gets rid of their mind, then the inquiry is lost for the Jnani. Jnani, after getting rid of their mind, will establish contact with God. Because for Jnani, the worldly activities will cease to exist and his entire inquiry will be about himself. He will start inquiring about why I have taken birth and what's the purpose of my birth. Ramana Maharishi lost his father when he was young. He was looking at the body and started calling him, but the body was not responding. Ramana Maharishi, as a boy, started the following inquiry within himself. Whenever I used to call him in the past, he used to reply to me. Now I am calling and there is no reply from him. Then who is my father? The body is there. Who am I? This inquiry made him leave his home and comfortable life to come to Tiruvannamalai at the age of 13 to find the answer. This is called inquiry. One must start this kind of inquiry and find out, who am I? What am I? Ramana Maharishi had left his home at the age of 13 by wearing a loincloth and left all his property, comforts, and came out of his home. This is real inquiry. The spiritual inquiry is about inquiring about you. All others are about inquiring about the world. There are various types of inquiries and you must choose the one suitable to you. Based on the selection of your inquiry, you will get the benefits. For all these inquiries, you must have mind. Without mind, there is no inquiry. Disciple. Ramana Maharishi's inquiry of who am I is possible for everyone. Guru. Ramana Maharishi informed his disciples to inquire, who am I? That was possible only for him, not for everybody else. Why don't we keep quiet instead of telling people to do what is not possible? All human beings cannot become saints. It is possible only for few people. Just by thinking alone, one cannot become a saint or a Mahan. If you have to become a saint, you must dedicate yourself to this world. Only for this dedicated people, it is possible to become a Mahan. To become a saint, you should not have any desire or any object in this world and should keep yourself away from wealth, pleasures and luxuries of the life. Buddha had completely eradicated all his desires. He had found out that the desire is the reason for all sufferings. Hence he advised to people to completely eradicate their desires. Ramana Maharishi belongs to Brahmin caste by birth. When he left his home and came to Tiruvannamalai, he started begging for his food. Is it possible for us? Every one of us are looking for a good job or a business to make a lot of money, build house, buy a car, get married, give birth to children, and enjoy life. By maintaining all this with you, how can you ask or inquire, who am I? To start this Atma Vicharam, which is inquiry, you must go to a good guru. You must tell him that Ramana Maharishi had advised us to go to Atma Vicharam and you must learn from the guru how to do it. After learning from your guru, you can do this, nothing wrong in it. But simply asking who am I at a wrong place will not give you the answer. Disciple. What are the types of jnanam, wisdom? What is anyanam, ignorance? Guru. There are 4 types of jnanam or wisdom. Anyanam or ignorance is people following someone or a routine blindly without reasoning. By seeing something, many will start following the same thing. They will not question why we should do these activities. They will simply say, it is our tradition. These people will not think about anything and they follow and worship God according to the tradition laid down in their scriptures. In the name of worship, they perform a lot of activities which are beyond common sense and are not required for human life is called ajnanam or ignorance. The next one is vijnanam, science. Researching on the origin of universe, stars, planets and the living beings and non-living things is called vijnanam or science. The persons engaged in this activity are called scientists. The next one is jnanam, wisdom or knowledge of the truth. It is about researching all the living beings, the universe and the creator, protector and destroyer, or God the Almighty, and the relationship between all these. The knowledge of the life, body, behavior and God, or self-realization, is the wisdom or knowledge of the truth called jnanam. The last one is called jnanam or false wisdom. There is plenty of literature available on spirituality and religion. Some people read this literature without understanding the real essence and they start preaching to their followers. These people act as if they are experts in everything and accumulate wealth by cheating their followers. It's called jnanam or false wisdom. Disciple. What is jnanam according to Siddhar Pattinattar? Guru. Siddhar Pattinattar reiterates, Vettada sakkaram pesada mandiram veroruvarukku. Uncut wheel and silent mantram for somebody. Ettada putpam irayada teertham ini mudindadu. It is the end of unreachable flower and unpumped water. Kattada lingam karudada nenjam karuthinulle. Unbuilt lingam, special form of Lord Shiva, an unthinking mind inside the thought. Muttada poosayandro Gurunathan molindaduve. The Guru enunciated the untouchable ritual. Jnanam is not a thing which can be shown to others. It is to be experienced by one and cannot be given to others. There is a wheel revolving within ourselves. That is a wheel which cannot be cut, and there is a mantram which cannot be spelled. Vasi or yogic inner breathing Will not speak means will not emanate any noise or breath outside. Others cannot hear it. He's suggesting that one cannot worship it and must experience it through the instructions of a God-realized Guru. Disciple. What is knowing the knowledge? Jnanam. Guru. Knowledge or jnanam is to contain oneself within self. One has to focus inside and start searching for God. It is not possible for everyone because there are obstacles like our desire. There are 3 main obstacles, namely desire, attachment, and lust. These 3 obstacles to reach God were there in every yogam or millennium. Siddhas, jnanis, and saints appear from time to time. Everyone cannot attain jnanam. Many people wish to attain jnanam, but the family situation, poverty, desires, affection, and attractions block them to continue. Because of this, they are unable to attain it. They are unable to engage themselves full time in the spiritual path. Hence, they started to lead a normal life.